Okay, thanks for tuning in. This is Jeff here at Jeff Outdoors, and again, I am, yes, indoors. It is winter time, and right now, prepping for maple season. If you go back and check out my recent videos, I've been doing a making maple syrup kind of series. So, it's tea time again here in the indoor sugar shack. And sitting here thinking tonight about a couple of different reminders when it comes to maple season. For the small home producer, there's a couple of things to think about. So when the temperatures are right and you're getting ready to tap, again, you're going to want freezing, below freezing at night, 40 degree weather in the day, and have that fluctuate over the course of a week. And watch your forecast. So there's another reminder, is to watch your forecast wherever you are. I'm watching the forecast pretty tight right now. I did test taps January 22nd last year, and had a nice turnout for my first boil, which was the first weekend in February. But some reminders about collecting sap and a few other things. Don't forget, if you have a freezer at home, like a standalone freezer, you could clear out a little bit of space in there, and to help you with your logistics and when you're going to do your boil, you can freeze sap. So if you have like 1 gallon water jugs laying around, or if you wanted to go stock up on some, I know a lot of people buy spring water and everything, so keep those jugs, and then you can put your sap in there and put it in the freezer and freeze it until you're ready to boil. Just make sure you take it out in time, take it out of the freezer in time so that it can turn back into fluid sap for boiling. So that's one reminder that I was thinking about today for you. The other would be tap or spile size. If you're just getting into maple syrup making, sugar making, whatever you want to call it, or mapling. I like to call it mapling. That's what we do here in Ohio. We go mapling. So you're going to want to think about your spiles and your tap size. If you go back and watch my maple syrup making supplies video, I do go over the drill bit size that I use, which is a 7/16. I use 7/16. Now that is a traditional size. It's the largest size that you're going to want to use. You can buy the 7/16 taps, which I think is good for a small-time producer. So if you're going to get more sap out of a 7/16 without any vacuum or anything. So when you get your bucket hanging up, you can get more sap that way. The 7/16 is not going to hurt your tree. You're going to go in, 1.5 inches, and again, that's the largest spile size, and I would recommend that for anybody who's tapping maybe 3 or 4 trees, 10, even 20 trees. There's no problem using that larger traditional size, and that's what I do. I've had no issues with the trees. The trees heal up in about 9 months, and no problems whatsoever. They work out great. Now, if you have a whole grove of 3, 4, if you're putting in like 1,000 taps or something like that, you're doing a lot of land and forest management with your maple grove. That's something that's another thing to consider. Is maybe going with a smaller spile size, which the next step down would be a 5/16. 5/16 is smaller. It's becoming kind of like a maple industry standard to use like a 5/16. Most of the people that use those are on like a tubing and vacuum type system. There are some traditional, bucket hanging 5/16 guys out there, but I think it's up to the individual to decide which size of tap is good for you and what your goal is in making your own maple syrup. So when you're out looking at supplies, think about that for a few minutes and decide what you think you want to do. If it's something you want to do year after year and you only have like 2 trees, go with a smaller spile. That way you're making a smaller indentation. You can tap that tree for longer periods of time, indefinitely, really. But it'll have less harm on the tree. So a smaller spile for fewer trees, bigger spile for maybe, a medium amount of trees, and a smaller spile for like massive amounts of trees. So something to think about is the scale of what you want to produce. Spile size. How much sap storage do you have on hand? Do you want to go get some more 5-gallon buckets to store your sap in? These are the things you should be thinking about ahead of time. And another suggestion that I've been thinking about getting out there to you would be start thinking about maple season in like October. If there's any supplies that you're going to need, if you wait till the end of January or February to order something online from a supplier, that is the busy season, and you may have back order items sell out. You're going to have to wait on the shipping. So get your supplies, take stock in like October, see what you need, order it before the new year, and then you're ready to go in January. And when the weather breaks and it looks like you got a sap run coming up for the week, you're ready, you're tapping, you're boiling, and you're bottling. So you got to kind of think forward with a lot of that. It's the same thing as if you're doing a garden. You're thinking about, it's mid-January now, and, I'm thinking about seed starting right now. And I have not even at maple season yet. So always be forward thinking with the seasons and what's going to be going on with the seasons to stay ahead and just stay on top of things. It actually will reduce any stress levels if that sort of thing stresses you out. But what is it? A failure to plan is a plan to fail. So, little tip there. But just thought I'd get that out there tonight. If you're watching this, thanks for tuning in. Just nice, short, and sweet. Gonna get back to some tea. And tomorrow is Friday. The weekend's coming up, and that is a good thing. Would love it to see you hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you like, leave a comment or question or whatever you have down below. I'd be happy to get back to you. And we'll go from there. Peace out. Okay. Thumbs up. Giddy up.